hot off the planetary press, planet parade. You want to be seeing everything that I'm gonna be sharing with you in this video. You want to know it all. You might even want to watch it twice because there is so much information and it's really so much to your benefit, and you really don't want to miss out on any of this. All right. So what we currently have, so think of the planets that are orbiting around the sun. So every once in every once in a while, they sort of all in a straight line. So at the moment, we have got 6 planets in a straight line for today, June the 3rd. Now, initially, I wanted to make this video for you yesterday, but I am pretty sure, like many of you, yesterday's energy felt a little bit heavy, and I want to explain to you why that is. All right? So today, you kind of want to think almost like zodiacally, you have got, like the planets, in astrology. They are all together for this amazing, incredible astrological conference. It's a huge deal. All right? Now, I want you to think of maybe putting together a party. Everything's going fine. Everything's going fine. Nothing is going funny. But there's still that rush and that stress and that running and all those sort of things. And everything feels a little bit combobulated. Now, that is what was happening yesterday. Today, completely different energy. And I'm going to explain to you why that is, because this is to your benefit. So welcome to this video. My name is Adrian Nelson. I'm a life transformation coach. I am a natural-born intuitive, natural-born psychic. I help people through astrology, numerology, sacred geometry, tarot, regression hypnosis. I'm a Reiki master, crystal healer. I do all those beautiful things. If you are in Cape Town in person, I do beautiful Reiki massages. That's all I do. But in this video, I want to speak to you about the fantastic energy that's unfolding today, June the 3rd. And remember, it's not just a today thing. It is part of everything. So today is a space where you can have incredible things happening, breakthroughs, amazing epiphanies, amazing realizations, amazing breakthroughs, out-of-body experiences, very clear dreams, psychic ability going to the next level, major shifts, positive shifts. And today, if there's ever been a day to make a wish and have that wish come true, today is it. June the 3rd, 2023. But there is also building up towards the new moon in Gemini, which is June the 8th. Now, these two videos, same as everything in astrology, really beautifully go hand in hand together. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a second video for the new moon in Gemini, just because there's a lot of information and I want you to be able to sort of like take the one part, absorb that, and then go to the next part and then get that. All right. So if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to click that all notifications, top right button there for that little bell. Click also, when a video goes live. All right. So I also want to let you know that going forward in the video, towards the end of the video, I'm going to draw a tarot card for each zodiac energy, just to give you some universal guidance as well in how you can utilize everything that is happening for you at the moment. And before I dive into this, I just want to, I just want to sort of share this with you, that a lot of people have been, looking at things like, oh my goodness, it's Mercury retrograde, and oh my goodness, everything's going to go wrong, and everything's bad, and everything's terrible, and where is the world going to go, and all that sort of things. But that need not be the case. In actual fact, Mercury retrograde can be one of the most incredible, fantastic things for you, because it gives you clarity. It is life giving you feedback. But it always depends on what we do with that feedback. So if you are going to look at a Mercury retrograde, if you're going to look at everything that I'm sharing with you today, and you're going to go like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, then remember, by your focus, you form your experience of life. The future doesn't exist. You create it based on what you focus upon. All right? So take what I give you with an open mind. It is from my heart to your heart with open intention. I'm sending you healing throughout in this healing, distance Reiki healing. All right, so if you've got healing for anything in your life where you need some healing, just place your hands on your heart. If you're in a space where you can't do that, imagine that you're placing it there. Just take in a deep breath and say, open myself to all of the abundance that the universe has available for me. All right, so as I said, this is going to be a jam-packed video, okay? I'm going to touch on sun, moon, rising, and ascending before I go into the different zodiac energies. You're going to see why when I get there, all right? So let's just start off with the beginning. So we're looking at June the 3rd, and this is building up towards that incredibly beautiful, new moon in Gemini that is happening on June the 8th. And also, of course, every month, you know, as I do, I've got a beautiful 3 days journey, the day before the moon, the actual moon, and the day after, you know. I call it CIA, clearing, alignment, and integration. So running 7, 8, and 9 June. You can always contact me. My contact details are down below in the description. I do prefer a WhatsApp text message over an email, but you can send me either one. And I'll give you more information in the new moon video, which I'm going to record right after this one. So you can check it out, but for now, let's just stay in this video. All right. So what I want you to imagine in your mind, you know, we have this tendency to really overcomplicate astrology. So what I want you to imagine in your mind. So 6 planets at the moment: Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So Sun in the middle. All these planets are going around the sun, including planet Earth. All right. And something to think about is we all look at how the planets are affecting us. But what we do on this planet, and this is a concept when I first heard it and got it, it really blew my mind, also has an impact on all the other planets, on the entire universe, because we're part of a whole. As it affects us, we affect it. All right. So the actions that you take is a lot broader than that. So what I'm going to do is from my beautiful, beautiful prayer box. If you are in South Africa and you're interested in this, you can contact me. I've got a friend of mine that makes them. They're beautiful. She practices ancient Egyptian magic infused into these boxes. They're incredible. So I'm going to draw you a tarot card just for a general message for this beautiful period of good luck that's coming up. What is the guidance that the universe is giving you for this good luck that is coming up? Then I'm going to get into the details. You might want to get some pen and paper here. Because it is a lot of information. There's somebody that's cutting some trees down across the road, so I do apologize for that. But let's see. And you know, so these planets are, these energies are coming together. They're sort of in this straight line. And I want you to think of it as 6 individuals that are all coming together, sitting around this round table, sort of giving their energies, you know. And when I was thinking about this, it reminded me of, some of you may or may not know this, it's probably about 30 years ago that it was on television, Captain Planet, which was like 5, you know, regular students, and they had these different sort of elemental energy influences: earth, fire, wind, water, heart. You know, and when they combined these energies, it became like Captain Planet, and they had this theme song like, Captain Planet, he's a hero, gonna take pollution down to 0. He's something, 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 and he's fighting on the planet side. And then they had a bit of a rap going there, we the Planeteers, you can be what too, you know. Because saving our planet is the thing to do. Looting and polluting is not the way. Here's what Captain Planet's got to say. The power is yours. All right? And this reading is about letting you know how the power is yours. And essentially, this is what astrology is about. This is what tarot is about. It's letting you know how the power is yours, how you can draw upon it. Remember that the whole unfolding of universal energies, it is just one big potential with multiple variables in between, all right? And the way that you choose and what you focus on, that determines ultimately how you experience what is possible. And remember, the most amazing, wonderful blessings and breakthrough and everything is always possible. It is especially potentially possible today, you know? But then in that same token, with all those things being possible, if your belief deep within yourself is that you are not worthy of good, amazing, incredible things in life, then you're just going to get a lot of flack today. You know, then you see other people doing well and you don't do well. So this is an powerful, healing opportunity for you as well. All right, so before we get into it, the tarot card that came out for you is the Queen of Wands. So this is an energy that, you know, encourages you to work on your heart, that encourages you to focus on your passion. You know, and this is what today is all about, dreams coming true. And this is that energy building towards that new moon in Gemini. And as I said, I want to speak about that a lot more in that particular video. Otherwise, I'm going to overwhelm you with information overload. But new moons are all about new beginnings. So you get this opportunity now, and this is a good thing to do building up to a new moon in any case. You get this opportunity to really focus on the beautiful new that you'd like to have in your life, especially with that Gemini energy, because, you know, Geminis are just magical. I love my Geminis, you know, and again, this is why you don't always just want to sort of look at sort of like surface level astrology. you know, because you get a lot of stuff sort of like from online resources, but a lot of those times, you know, those things are very sort of like cut and dry. It's either this or that, and you know, not looking at all the potentials sort of like in between. Because, for example, I'm a Cancer sun, so I'm a Cancerian. And typically Cancers and Gemini don't typically get along so well, but I love Geminis. Like they're like my favorite people, you know. And that is because my Mercury, which is my communication, is very strong. It's like 28 degrees or something like that in Gemini. So I like it. And I can't remember what my friend said the other day. I think she said pansexual or something like that. I can't remember. I'm not so familiar with those things, but I get very turned on by good communication. And it's not just words, it's everything. All right, that's my foreplay. It's FYI and TMI. Okay, anyway, so looking at this June the 3rd energy, and I want you to not just look at it as this isolated energy for today. All right, so these energies are aligning, so in a straight line. Now you have to remember that these planets are doing quite large loops around the sun. All right, Uranus, which we're gonna, sorry, my apologies, Neptune, which we're gonna speak about later on, for example, takes 146 years to do what we would call 146 years to do that sort of like, you know, zodiacal circle or orbit around the sun, whereas for Earth, you know, we call it a year, it's 365 days. Okay, so this is not the sort of thing that just happens. You know, it's a really grand opportunity, and it's a really great opportunity, especially if you've started to feel overwhelmed, if you've started to feel depressed and demotivated, and you were like, nothing is ever working out. You want to be watching this video because this video is going to give you everything that you need to know, all right, in order to really turn everything around for you. So just very, very quickly focusing on the planets, what they represent, the zodiacal energies that they are ruling. So, you know, if you, for example, remember the sun and the moon are still seen as planets in astrology. So sun being Leo, moon being Cancer. I'm going to speak about that a little bit later on as well. But I just want to give you an idea of the energies that are at play here and the good stuff they are bringing to the table. Because right now around the table, the planets are bringing the creme de la creme. They're bringing the top of the crop, you know. They are really sort of like, if you want to imagine that these planets, let's imagine that they are like sort of like ancient gods and they sit around the stable of power. So I want to let you know what they are bringing to the stable of abundance, prosperity, and success that is given to you for free for your benefit, if only you will open yourself to that by saying yes to it. So if you come across something that really resonates with you, say yes to it. All right, so the first planet is Mercury. All right, and Mercury is all about, Mercury is about change, and Mercury is about intellect, and Mercury is about communication and transportation and memory, in actual fact. And communication is not just words, you know, it's all our communication, how we interact with ourselves, what we think about ourselves, what we believe we're worthy of and not worthy of, our dreams, our aspirations, what drives us, what deters us, what is our truth for ourselves within our subconscious mind. You know, and so the two zodiac energies that are ruled by Mercury are Gemini and Virgo. All right. Then we've got Mars. Mars is normally known as the planet of war. It's also the planet of initiative. You know, it's planet of energy. Now, here's the thing. Again, people tend to, you know, to only focus on the negative because, you know, often what gets you more traction in this world is the negative stuff, you know. Everybody's like, everything is amazing, nobody cares, you know. Everybody's like, oh my God, everything's falling apart. You got everybody's attention, all right? And it's activating those fears that people have within them, those generational fears, that all of this current energy happening, it's about merging away from that, all right? So, you know, we've been focusing on the negative for so many years, and I mean, when you think about it, it's just brought us more and more crap. So when you focus on the positive, imagine how that will change. And it's not about looking at the outside, what are the other people doing, because everybody's looking at everybody. You've got 8 billion people on this planet, everybody looking at everybody. Well, it's their fault, well, they should do that. Well, where does everything start? It starts with you, all right? So Mars is so remember, war can also be a breakthrough. You know, war can be the, you know, recognizing the inner turmoil within yourself and saying, well, this is what's going on. What are my thoughts? Really, if you are not journaling by now yet, I want you to journal. I want you seriously to start journaling. What are my thoughts? What are my beliefs? What are my hopes? What are my dreams? When I think of what is positive and what I want, what is it that comes up that says to me, you can't have that? You know, that's not who you are. That's not what you're worthy of. What are those thoughts? Instead of trying to, you know, get away from them, following this very sort of bubblegum spirituality that you always have to be so fucking happy and, you know, everything is always just love and light. No, it's not. You know, and in order to really get to the true essence of love and light, which essentially is inner peace, which brings you everything. It brings you the money, the health, the love, everything that you want. You have to understand what is it that is in sort of like conflict, what is contradictory within yourself to what it is that you essentially desire to have within your life. Okay? So the planet or the zodiac energy, sorry, that Mars is ruling is Aries. All right? And one thing that you often hear Aries say is like, this isn't working for me. And once the Aries has said, this isn't working for me, I promise you, they're heading in a different direction. You know, you can go with them and you can really thrive, or you can stay behind. Pretty much your choice, you know, dealer's choice. Then we've got Jupiter, which is often referred to as the planet of good luck. It's all about optimism. It's about, you know, taking initiative. It's about faith. It's about hope. It is, in many ways, Jupiter is about that belief, or rather the, you know, I would almost say the logical sort of conclusion that there must be more to you than just this. And whatever this more is, must have your back. All right? And the planet that is ruled by Jupiter is Sagittarius. And for any of you, if you are a Sagittarius, if you know a Sagittarius, if you're Sagittarius rising like myself, I'm going to explain that a bit later if you're not familiar with it. You know, I'll be like, I see what this is, but I don't accept it. You know, and one of my sisters is actually a Sagittarius, and I've got some beautiful friends that are Sagittarius as well, and they would normally say something that is almost like a dead giveaway for a Sagittarius or a strong energy of Sagittarius in your chart. They will be like, I see this, I understand it, but I don't accept it. And they will change things. They're very brave. All right, so that energy is brought to the table at the moment. And about 2 days ago, the energy of Sagittarius sort of went into a Gemini sort of cusp, which is pretty much, actually now that I think about it, it's very much my birth chart, you know, which will explain why I'm all chipped up and peep and all those things today, because cusp is normally, the way that you get a cusp, in case you don't know, is, what are we currently in? We're currently in the season of Gemini, all right? So that runs to, like, say, the 21st or 22nd of June, and then we go into the energy of Cancer. But, you know, in the same way as I explained to you with the full moon and the new moon, you know, the energy starts to like go into each other, flow together, merge together. It's like this tapestry of energy. You know, in the same way when certain energies are sort of like, almost like on the cusp. So it means like, say for example, you are born on the 24th of June. So you are a Cancer, but you have got a stronger, stronger sort of like Gemini energy in your typical way of being, then maybe somebody would have, for example, who was born on, say, the 28th of June, because you moved stronger into a sort of Cancer energy. So it's almost like Cape Town is actually, Cape Town is one of those places where you're on one side of the road and you're in a certain area and you cross the road and you're literally in a different area, you know. So it's almost like that. It's like being in the middle of the road. So people say, well, where do you stay? And it's like, I stay there or I stay there. And Cape Towners like to get very typical, like very sort of like particular about it, you know. But it's sort of like it's an easy mistake to make, sort of thing, you know. But it's or rather you benefit from both, that sort of thing. Best of both worlds. Very Miley Cyrus. Okay. What is it called? Hannah Montana. You know. So very much like that. And then Saturn is another one at the table. Now Saturn is one of those energies that, I don't know, at some point, some tarot reader must have started to speak about Saturn quite a lot. And a lot of times I hear people going on about Saturn. Saturn. I'm like, well, what about Saturn? You know? And then they're like, yes, about Saturn. You have to look out for Saturn. And like, well, what about Saturn? And more often than not, these people's got no actual cooking clue what they are speaking about. You know? It's easy to guess like people with bullshit. It really is. You know? But Saturn is, it's sort of like the planet of restriction and limitations, you know. So but again, same as in Mars, a restriction or a limitation doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing unless you sort of like, you know, take it on as such. All right. So limitations and restrictions can also be that sense where people often speak about being safeguarded against something. All right. Because the full picture of life that we see is only that which we see from our perception. So it's really just part of the full picture. So if you, for example, let's say you want your highest good in life, all right, and nothing is working out for you, maybe life is making you aware, and this is where something like Saturn can come in, even like Mars. Life is making you aware, because Mars is a lot about self-sabotage, but we would say that now, about maybe you've got a lack of self-discipline. Maybe you need to work on your punctuality. Maybe, you know, what you are striving for is not in alignment with the highest good that you want, but you are so particular that you want your highest good that it may seem like life is sort of like plonking you down, but maybe because of your, I can almost say your stronger intention, this is what must happen over that. You know what I mean? Because on a higher intentional or on a higher level, we all know what is going on. And that's the energy of Capricorn. Now, just very interestingly for you, in traditional astrology, so that is more sort of like westernized astrology, you know, Saturn was actually the planet that was ruling both Capricorn and Aquarius. And we're going to speak about Aquarius in the next bit. But just to very quickly touch for you on there. So, you know, when the Roman sort of empire kind of like overthrew the Egyptian empire, you know, what is that dude's name? Constantine, you know, he came out and, you know, apparently had a spiritual awakening, and, you know, he was like, you know, Christianity is the way to go. Now, prior to that, there were many gods and many deities, and Christianity was very much a baby religion, sort of like, you know, nobody paid too much attention to it, you know. It was like, it was a very new concept. And so Constantine came out, and then all of a sudden, you know, it was illegal to not be Christian, and at some point it was enforced, and like, you know, a couple of thousand of people, millions of people, you know, at some point, especially later on, would like, because, sorry, so I'm tripping over my words. So even later on, when you look at something like the witches being burned, that all in many ways stems from that, all right? So when astrology was sort of like, you know, brought into the Western part, we only have about 10% of what we call modern astrology, which is more Western astrology. And then you get Vedic astrology, which is sort of like the 100% astrology. It doesn't necessarily mean that one is superior to the other. A lot of people have that idea. It's just that Western astrology stayed very much with certain things. There are certain things that they didn't sort of like, you know, take into calculation, for example, like a meteorite hit the Earth at some point, you know, it went a little bit on a, like an angle, with the times changing, because remember also a year is not a full 365 days, that's why we have leap years. So a Vedic astrology takes all that into equation, all right? But again, it doesn't mean the one superior to the other. I just wanted to put in there for you. And of course, Uranus is now the planet that is ruling beautiful Aquarius. Now also remember that we are currently in the age of Aquarius, and these ages take very, very long, okay? And I'm not going to go into this too much because I have before, and it does become quite a broad conversation. But typical Aquarius energy is that energy that's going to come in, they're going to see what can be done, they're going to see what the problems are. They are the energies that are first going to do the spring cleaning, the deep cleaning, and then they're going to bring in the new furniture, as opposed to vice versa. They can be very organized in that way, which is amazing. Love them as well. Also, I've got an Aquarius moon, which explains why I would like Aquarius, you know, and my best friend is an Aquarius too. So Uranus energy, innovation, technology, you know, humanitarian energy, all that sort of energy, which is really, really, really cool. I just want to check something here while I'm talking to you. I do apologize. You've got, I'm still with you, so sorry for that. I just wanted to check something very, very quickly that I did forget to check. But while I'm talking to you, I will, sorry. Not so good at doing different things at the same time. All right, so, sorry, my people, I do apologize, I do apologize, I do apologize. All right. Okay, so, okay, just need to add that, sorry. So, so that is being brought to the table, as well as Neptune energy. Now remember, we are speaking about everything that is being brought to the table. These 6 planets that are currently in the straight line, what they actually mean, what they bring to the table for you. So the other one is Neptune, and interesting enough, as I said before, Neptune takes 146 years to do an orbit. That's very long. You know, so again, I just want to tell you this to reiterate to you how rare this occurrence is. It's not the sort of thing that just happens every now and then, okay? And so the planet that Neptune rules is the planet of, the planet Neptune, the energy that it rules is the energy of Pisces, my apologies, in the 12th house, which is the energy of celestial death and then rebirth in Aries. All right, so rebirth in the energy of Mars, which is the energy of, you know, let's go and do these things. All right. So even though, just to put it in perspective for you, to let you know everything that's happening at the moment, so even though people look at Mars and they go like, oh bollocks, what's going to go wrong? And it's the energy of Aries. Aries is also the energy of new beginnings. It's the energy of sort of like rebirth into new, like a baby. You know, when you think about it, it's almost that energy sort of like when a baby leaves the womb, the paradise of the womb, the allness of the womb, it is birthed through the birth canal into the world, into a new paradise. So that is very much what Pisces energy is about. It's a celestial death, the leaving behind. When it's time to leave behind, going to the next level, and then typically all the little challenges that we face in between, all right, as human beings, because we like to hold on to things. But it's very much about your innate spiritual connection. It's about mysticism, you know, it's about creativity, divinity. So all of that is coming to the table at the moment. Now, also to bear in mind, with all the other things that are happening, also to bear in mind, all right, is for example, the one planet that we didn't look at is Venus, which is normally the planet of love and passion and those type of things. But if you normally look at a reading and you know where your Venus placement is, you want to know about love and passion and following your dreams and, you know, all those sort of things. How do you make it happen? That is the planet Venus, which is also not also, you know, beautifully cream on sort of like peaches, benevolent as everybody makes it out to be. A lot of times people tend to either, you know, to oversimplify things either in a very horrible way or in a very sort of like, you know, celestially perfect way. But, you know, knowledge really is that thing. The more you know, the better you can do. Okay, which is why this video is quite detailed. And I suppose you understand now why I wanted to make 2 separate videos. Otherwise, it just becomes too much. Okay? Remember to make notes. Also something to bear in mind at the moment is that Pluto, which is the energy that's ruling, you know, the Pluto, the planet that is ruling Scorpio, is, remember, it's still doing its retrograde thing. But this is a space where, for many of you that would have felt this yesterday, you know, June the 2nd, you could have felt very off-kilter. And the funny thing with that is that Scorpio will thrive in a space like that, because something that Scorpios often say is that I can take this. I can do this. Things that can break anybody, the strongest person on a planet, can be such motivation for Scorpios to just, you know, mission forward, to find that light, to find that way. Scorpios don't typically take no for an answer. Okay? So the wonderful thing with that Pluto energy at the moment is that with all this beautiful energy that you are being presented with at the moment, there is a lot of no restriction, no conflict, no accidents, no natural self-sabotage and things that would typically be that fly in your jam is not happening at the moment. So this is actually the time where Scorpios can really thrive. All right. Venus obviously ruling Libra, you know, all about fairness and all that sort of stuff. Then just the 2 others that I want to touch on is the Sun, which is in Leo. Now, of course, the thing with the Sun being in the center of everything, this is a time for Leo to shine. Leo, you love to shine, you know, and this is a time for you to shine because everybody is at a good space. This is a time where if you want it, and this is really for everybody, but I'm just giving it to Leo specifically. This is a time where if you wanted to set something in motion, now's the time for you to do it. All right, everybody gets what you're talking about. A lot of times you will have the experience that people's like, I don't know what you're talking about, I don't really get it. And so everybody is sort of experiencing this sort of, I can almost say like intellect sort of upgrade that's taking place today. So you may have actually found yourself waking up today being in a very good space, where yesterday you may have been very much in a space of fuck the world, I don't give a shit about anything. Okay, maybe Saturday as well. Today's Monday, depending on many things happening in your chart. And then, of course, there's the energy of Cancer, which is ruled by the moon, which is also really cool for Cancerians. I would say for water signs in general, maybe even the earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, because there is a sense of harmony, there's a sense of peace, there is a sense of everybody not being so crazy and all those type of things, which is really, really cool. Okay, so that is the energy that is currently happening, that is presented. And so this is why this is the space of good luck and amazing things and all that sort of stuff. And then when you watch the new moon in Gemini video that I'm going to make for you after this, I'm gonna, you're gonna get more from that. So you're gonna be able to put things even more into perspective and understand how you can really, sort of utilize that energy to your benefit. All right, so this is where the timestamps are going to start coming in. So, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Ascending. So, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Ascending. Let's start with that. And if you don't know what these are, you can go to www.astro.cafeastrology.com, or you can just Google cafeastrology.com, or you can just sort of like Google free natal chart, and you can choose Cafe Astrology. I'm not affiliated with them, but I really like the way they break things down, especially if you're new to astrology, you want to understand where's my moon, what does this mean, how do I benefit from these things that I'm about to give you next, what does it actually mean, how do I go to the timestamp, why would I even bother? They really give it to you really, really beautifully, especially if you know what your time of birth, exact time of birth is. If it isn't, don't guess, okay? Because the moon, well, actually the whole sort of like, you can almost say the pattern of the zodiac that we read, it changes like every 4 minutes, approximately, okay? But just to give you a very quick overview, Sun, that is the way that you express your internal energy outward. So the way that the soul expresses itself, the way we express ourselves as human beings, sort of like our inner processing mechanism externalized, which is your zodiac sign, your horoscope sign, which for me is obviously Cancer, because I was born on July the 8th, 1982, at 14:45 in the afternoon in Cape Town in South Africa, if anybody's interested. Okay, which means this July I'm turning 42, which is exciting. Moon is your emotions. This is about how you process emotions, how you feel emotions. So remember, you have got a typical way, for example, if you take me, you've got a typical way that a Cancer will process emotions and feel emotions, but there's many different aspects to that as well. So for example, I'm a South African man that is born in Cape Town in South Africa, but there is sort of like a very... there is a very broad, stereotypical sort of explanation of who I am. That can't possibly be a full descriptive term of who I am. Because many other people were born in that same date, probably in Cape Town, in the same hospital ward as me, but they might have many similarities to me, but also many differences. So your natal chart, which is something that I offer to clients, that determines who you are. It is your blueprint of who you are, okay? And then, so with your moon, as I said, that's your emotions, that's how you process things. My moon is in Aquarius, which makes for a little bit of a stubborn person, actually. And also someone that would typically be more, even though I very much operate on my feelings and my emotions and my intuition and my gut, I do tend to sort of like go more towards the logical side. I want to know why it works. For example, being a regression hypnosis practitioner, like a hypnotherapist, I am not just happy to just do the hypnosis and I want to know why does it work. I want to know about your nervous system and your mind and your brain and how it operates. And I'm actually busy studying neuroplasticity at the moment because I want to know how the human mind works. A very good friend of mine, for example, is a theta healer, which is very much focused on those things. So trust me when I'm telling you, I'm asking this woman multiple questions all the time because I want to know. It's that curious mind. All right. And then your rising or ascending, which is if you want to imagine if you were born and you were laying on your back and you were watching the sun come up, in what zodiac energy would that be? And that is typically how you will initiate new things, new beginnings, how you will start things, how will you go about actioning things. And remember, the same as remember when I spoke about Pisces and Aries, every ending is a new beginning, and every new beginning is an ending. The two go hand in hand together. All right, so that is just a basic idea for you for what is going on. For any of you being interested, I am a Sagittarius rising, which means, you know, I can actually really sort of drive myself into extreme anxiety sometimes, because this is what it is, this is what I feel, and I don't accept the feeling sometimes, you know, so it makes for a crazy life at times. But just to let you know what that is all about, and of course, if you are interested in a more detailed breakdown of what that is, I do offer those services, natal chart readings, as a pre-recorded reading, and it's about a 2-hour, 2.5-hour reading. It's a very, very detailed reading, very detailed, all right, your map of life. Okay, so just to end off this reading, all right, so I just want to let you know this quickly because there's a couple of people who's been asking me to do a couple of videos. So I'm just going to quickly let you know some videos that I'm still going to do. So one is I will do breakdowns of the different zodiac energies, you know, so Aries, Taurus, Gemini, so forth. What you can expect, if you love them, you like them, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Who matches, who doesn't match, why, and so forth. And then individual ones for what each house represents itself. Maybe that will go hand in hand. You know, how to talk to your spirits and guides and how to release energies that are holding you back. I'll do a detailed video on sun, moon, and a rising. And also just to let you know that rising and ascending is the same thing in astrology. Sometimes you get very confused with that. I also want to do a video on letting go, which is so important if you want to thrive in life, you want to go forward, you want to be successful. I also have an online course for that. It's called Abundance Manifestation Masterclass, which is a masterclass level coaching, which I would typically charge lots and lots of money for, but I just felt that I wanted to give something to people, you know, that can really help you to be successful in this world. So that, along with my other courses, you can check out down below in the description. If you haven't yet subscribed, remember to subscribe, and do leave a comment to let me know what's happening for you currently. Okay, so just going to draw some cards for you, all the way down the zodiac energy, so Aries through to Pisces. So general message for you, and of course, if you want to look at the other placements, I will strongly recommend that you do so as well. All right, so I'm just going to write this down because I'm going to timestamp them. So Aries, hello my beautiful Aries, energy for you for this particular time. You've got the Two of Cups. Aries, this is a period of things coming together for you. This is a period of dreams coming true, hopes turning into realized dreams, an improvement of health, an improvement of mental, emotional, and physical well-being. That if you have been sort of under the weather, if things have been very, very difficult for you to deal with, my beautiful, beautiful Aries, this is a period where, and it's so amazing, you know, this is a wonderful period. This is the energy where the universe sort of like brings everything together for you. So you don't really have to try all that hard to make anything happen and work for you personally. Taurus. Taurus, the energy for you that is coming through, the tarot guidance for you, my beautiful Taurus, is the Chariot energy. Taurus, this is the energy that encourages you to continue going forward. This energy has also got a very strong Cancer influence in it, so very strong Cancerian energy. So maybe you want to look at the reading for Cancer as well, especially if it's a predominant placement in your chart, you know, moon or rising. This is the energy that lets you know, Taurus, that everything may not be as prim and proper as you may like it to be, and as you may feel comfortable to go to this next level, but you are encouraged to continue moving forward, even if it seems a little scary for you at this particular point in time. Okay. Gemini, beautiful, beautiful Gemini. What is the energy for you, my beautiful Gemini? Gemini, you have got the 10 of Swords. Gemini, this is a time of needing to let go of certain things. Now remember that currently we are also in the zodiacal house of Gemini. We are in Gemini season. So this is your season of power. So Gemini, what the universe want to let you know is that anything that you need to release, anything that you need to let go of, anything that is withholding you from propelling forward, this is actually your best time to let it go. All right? And letting go doesn't have to be sort of like a terrible thing where one person benefits and everybody else is disadvantaged. Okay? Cancer, my beautiful fellow Cancerians. Let's see what is the universal guidance for you currently through the tarot. Let's say the bottom card. What is the bottom card? The Seven of Pentacles. So, my beautiful Cancerians, this is a time where it's almost like your big dream is loading. It's like you're in the space where your dreams can really, really come true. You know, you might also simultaneously be feeling a horrendous amount of tension and pressure and overwhelm and all those sorts of things at the moment. What you are encouraged to do, my beautiful fellow Cancerians, is to focus on the here and the now. What is the next logical step that you need to take from this particular point in time? What is the next thing that you need to do? All right. What is that next step that you need to take? What is it that you need to do in the now? So don't overwhelm yourself by what may possibly happen in the future. Focus on the here and the now, and the future will take care of itself because your power is in the present moment. My amazing Leos, what I have for you. Your card came out right away. The Hanged Man. Isn't this amazing, my beautiful, beautiful Leos? This is the energy that says, you know what, Leo, just take a bit of a chill pill. You know, hand over to Source. This is a time to surrender. And this is also a time, my beautiful Leos, to maybe look a little bit deeper. Have you been neglecting yourself, or rather in which areas have you been neglecting yourself, you know, for the benefit of others? And maybe you really needed to be there for others there for a certain period of time because, I mean, times have been rough. Things have been, energetically, they kind of felt catastrophic. You know, they kind of felt very, you know, sort of like dystopian really at a point there. And maybe you really needed to kind of keep everything together for everyone. And maybe you neglected yourself a little bit, my beautiful Leos. Now is a time for you to prioritize yourself in the most beautiful ways. Once again, now's your time. Okay, now's your time. Now is your moment. Now is the time to give yourself what it is that you need. Okay. Who do we have? Virgo. Beautiful, beautiful Virgos. What is it that we have for you? What is it that you need to know? What is it that you need to understand? What is to your benefit at this particular point in time? Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Ace of Pentacles. Divine breakthrough. Virgo, this is a time when you can win the lotto. Now, let me say to you something about winning the lotto. A lot of people have really got their radar set on, if I win the lotto, my life can work out. But there are billions of people around the world that want to win the lotto. So, for example, I saw the other day that I think it's the weekend pass, actually, I'm not too sure. But, you know, the current total sort of what they call the Powerball for the lotto, for the lottery, the South African lottery was 9.6 billion. And I thought to myself, ooh, I could really do with that, you know. But simultaneously, instead of just saying that, I also, and it was quite amazing, I was like, oh wow, look how far you've come. Said to myself, okay, that's cool, but I can also have it another way. And this is what I'm going to encourage you to do at this particular point in time, Virgo, especially if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel like nothing is working out, if you don't see the way through. This is the time that Source is saying to you, your breakthrough is so at hand, my beautiful Virgo, it is not even funny, okay? It is amazing. It's amazing, okay? Libra, what do we have for you, my beautiful Libra? What is it that you need to know? What is it that you need to be aware of? What is it that can be to your benefit? Libra, this is a time to receive. Now, Libra, I understand you so well. You know, I love my Libras. I do. I really do. You know, when I go a little bit crazy, which I typically can, it is usually my Libras that bring me back to my balance. All right? And Libra, I really like seeing this for you because it seems like everything is quite there with the Four of Cups. Everything is quite cool for you at the moment, which I love to see for you. But don't be, really, Libra, do not be closed off to new at this particular point in time. All right? Do not be closed off to new. And I just heard the cannon go off. So for those of you that don't know, in Cape Town, part of the sort of like the mountain range where Table Mountain is, there is a part called Signal Hill, and there's like a cannon that goes off every day at 12. And back in the days, it was like sort of like a signal to the merchants that, you know, the ships in the harbor, they can come down, they can trade. It was good news. So that cannon going off for you, when I'm saying this to you, is a very positive, highly amazing, incredible, auspicious sign. Okay, so I really, really like that for you, Libra. Be open to new. You know, don't just say, well, everything is fine for me. I don't have to worry about anything else. Because then you can be withholding something really, really amazing from yourself. Okay. Scorpio. My beautiful, beautiful Scorpios. My Mars is in Scorpio, which makes for quite an interesting Mars. And that is why I've got that very, you know, never give up sort of thing very naturally. And this is the thing, I just want to touch on this very quickly because this is very synonymous with the energy of Scorpio. You know, somebody asked me once, Adrian, don't you have fear? And I said, yes, I do have fear, but I don't allow the fear to sort of cripple me. I feel it, but I let it propel me forward. And this Scorpio, this is you so much. And you've got the King of Swords. Scorpio, the universe, I love this message for you. The universe is letting you know that the worst is behind you. Because Swords energy, which is air energy, it's like a formative energy, it's a shifting energy. It's all the things in life that we don't like. It's the challenges, it's the blockages, it's the things that are holding us back. It's the, you know, the inherited negativity in our pathology. It's all the crap, really. It's all the crappy stuff, all right? And the universe is letting you know, Scorpio, that you have been through the worst, but you are now at a point where you can use your beautiful logic, your beautiful mind, your beautiful reasoning to your benefit. All right? So trust your mind. And here's the thing about where you currently are, Scorpio. Not a lot of people are going to get your logic, but that's okay. If you can't tell them in words, show them. Okay? Sagittarius, my rising sign. Sagittarius are very old souls. They like this one. They sort of just understand on a deeper level that somehow life has gotten them. Look at Sagittarius. These are very brave people. Ace of Cups. Sagittarius, open your heart. Open yourself to hope. Let other people do things for you. You know, Sagittarius, it's very easy for you to go into this bubble of like, well, you know, it's not like I don't trust other people, but if I do it, I normally do it better. And what if I give someone else to do it, and then they do it, and then I'm not, you know, happy, and then I have to redo it anyways. And, you know, a lot of times that can be to your benefit, but a lot of times, let's just be honest about things, a lot of times that is how you drive yourself into overwhelm, into exhaustion, completely draining yourself, because the belief that nobody else is going to be able to do things the way that we do it, and only we can do it best. Well, first of all, it's a little arrogant. And secondly, it stems from fear. So there might be some deep fears that you are so ready to release. So have faith in others. And if you have faith in others, you also have faith in yourself, because we one. Okay? We are one. We are connected. Okay. Capricorn. Beautiful, beautiful Capricorns. Capricorn, you have got the 9 of Pentacles. So Capricorn, this is a space for you that if you want to sort of like initiate something new, you want to start your own business, you want to take that next step, you want to start a new course, you want to buy a house, you want to leave something, you want to start new, whatever it is that sort of like sets your soul on fire, that ignites your passion, my beautiful Capricorn, that is what you want to follow. That is what you want to go for. Things are very much in your favor at this particular point in time for you to have amazing things happening for you, my beautiful, beautiful Capricorns. Aquarius. Aquarius, let's see what is the energy for you that is unfolding for you. Aquarius, you have got the death card energy. This is an amazing energy. Because remember, as I said earlier in the video, you are leaving the utopia, the paradise, all that you need from the womb to be born to go through the difficult period of rebirth. Look at this character. You know, he's stepping into light. The sun is shining, you know. And the sun energy in astrology is that energy of Leo. The energy that typically sees the broader pictures, you know. And Leos, I mean, if you take examples of Leos, you know, they are people that they see potential where other people don't, you know. So we're looking at, to make examples of people that are more sort of like in the spotlight. You know, you're looking at Jennifer Lopez, you're looking at Madonna, you're looking at Mika, my absolute sexy favorite. You know, you're looking at Sarah Brightman. These people are very innovative. You know, one of my best friends who passed, you know, he was also a Leo, and he could just see things. And the thing is, Leo, that you know, speaking of Leo energy, because it's amazing for this to be called into Aquarius, especially if you, and now that I think about it, as my best friend who's got a Leo moon, especially if you're an Aquarius with a Leo moon, or Leo rising, and even, you know, if you've been feeling held back in this world, so say maybe it was difficult for you to go for what your heart desires, you know, maybe you want to take a look then at your Venus, which is what can trap your dreams, you know, fear and stuff, because you can feel passion, but passion can also make you feel very anxious. To look at your Venus, look at your Mars, how do you sabotage yourself, how do you hold yourself back, what is the shit that you tell yourself in your mind for why you can't do things, you know, you are breaking away from all of that right now, and you are moving into the light, so your dreams are finally paying off. And you may be in a space, Aquarius, where you know, maybe from almost like a sense of necessity, you had to let go of a lot of your things, but maybe you were making space for better and new and more. You know, have you ever thought about that? And then lastly, Pisces. My beautiful, beautiful Pisceans, what is it that this energy is offering you? Pisces, you've got the Knight of Pentacles. So Pisces, be open to new, be open to more, be open to, you know, going for your dreams. But Pisces, you're the one energy that wants to be a little bit careful over here, because, you know, you want to be careful. And I'm going to give you an example from my own life to put this into perspective. So at the moment, you know, on my website, www.psychicadrian.com, there's my third website that I have. The first two I had them because I wanted to legitimize myself. You know, if I have a website, people's going to be like, oh, Adrian's a big deal. He knows what he's doing. But the validation, and that typically comes from insecurity, so the validation that you're seeking from other people is the validation that you need to give to yourself. All right. So at this particular point in time, Pisces, you may feel very driven to, you know, you see everything is beautiful and everything's happening for everybody else, and be like, oh my goodness, I shouldn't be left behind. So let me do this, let me do that, let me do that. Be very careful of reckless financial sort of like, you know, jumping at this particular point in time. Maybe wait more towards sort of like maybe the new moon, you know, or maybe at least watch the video for the new moon as well. But that is what I have for you. I hope that it helps from my heart. Namaste, love and light. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to connecting with you on the next video.